Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the INSS H2O well drilling super street stock series. Again, my name is Josh Hall. Thanks for joining us tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight as we watch these drivers take on the historic late Myrtle Beach Speedway. One of my absolute favorite tracks. Been to this track a dozen or so times. Even though I live up here in the Northeast, I've actually driven on this track with a NASCAR experience. So one of my favorite tracks in the sim. Unfortunately, this track no longer exists in real life. They have torn it down just recently, but you know what? Its memory lives on here on iRacing. We see Kyle Streeter out on track, getting some practice in that 37 machine. Currently running in the 10th position. And let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. And we see Carson Nagy currently up at the top of the board with just 21 points ahead of Sean Fleury. Ryman Castles is back in third. Jimmy Gooker back in fourth, and Justin Prescott in the fifth position. You can see your top 10 up on the screen as we get ready for some action here tonight. The typical format, we'll have a couple heat races before we have our 75 lap main event. You can see from this group of drivers right here, Sean Fleury, the 91 of Mark Baldwin, and the 52 of Bradley Bushy. This is a very racy track. You can run side by side. It's got some characteristics to it that are unusual. As you go down into turns 1 and 2, you'll notice, as you see the 31 get a little loose there. You'll see as they come down into turns 1 and 2, there's actually some big, almost turtle-like things. I mean, they are turtles right there in turn number 1. So it's really easy to over-rotate the car and get down on those turtles, which can do a lot of damage and really upset the car. So watch for that here tonight. They don't want to hit those turtles exiting pit road as well. So a lot of characters. We see the 25 of Shane O'Neill going around here. A lot of character in this old track. Again, Myrtle Beach Speedway was a place where a lot of drivers got their start. Dale Earnhardt Jr. raced on this track quite a bit growing up. So it was a sad day to see this racetrack go away. As we hear the qualifying is about to get underway. Let's see who our first drivers out to hit the track are. Looks like it will be the 31 of Sean Fleury out on track first. See that car get really, really loose there off of the corner. Looking back at some of the great winners of the Myrtle Beach 400, which was a late model event that was always held at the track. You'll see some names. You might hear some names you might find familiar. Of course, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was a winner of that race. Josh Berry, Ty Majeski, Brandon Queen, Christian Eckes, just to name a few. Timothy Peters won it back in 2003. Scott Riggs in 99. So quite a few big names you might recognize have won some pretty prestigious events here at this speedway. As we see Mike Young finishing up his qualifying attempt. Currently in the 9th position. We see Caden Fisher just took the green flag, now coming to take the white flag. We saw him show a lot of speed last week. Currently up in the 13th position. See where Caden ends up here on his second lap. And across the line, and Fisher is going to jump up to the pole and then get knocked off immediately by the 32 of Eric Steele. Steele getting that pole position on his first lap. We'll see if he's able to improve here on his second lap. That car looks like it's on rails as it comes across the line. And indeed, his second lap is actually a little bit slower. He ran a 20:53 on his first lap and a 20:65 on his second lap. Matt R. Smith, one of the last drivers to make their way onto the racetrack, coming across to take the checkered flag. And Smith is going to jump up to P6. Now, it looks like that's going to do it for all the drivers here tonight. Of course, we want to thank all of our great partners here on Intensity Broadcasting that make this racing possible. Of course, we want to thank H2O Well Drilling, who is the series sponsor. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing here tonight. Of course, Til Dark Roofing, another one of our great sponsors here in the league. Of course, we also want to thank our great partners here at Intensity Broadcasting, including Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs. Visit raceepi.com. Of course, you can also check out intensitybroadcasting.com for all your hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pads, all your iRacing apparel here with Intensity Broadcasting, as well as some of our novelty t-shirts as well. And of course, our great partner over at the Butt Kicker. We'll get to that in just a moment as we're getting ready to grid up for our first heat race here tonight. And on pole, we will see the 32 of Eric Steele, Jason Pelkey, will roll off from the second position. Logan Powers in third, Stephen Rockford back in fourth, Joel Hogden back in the fifth spot. Then Sean Fleury qualifies sixth, Shane O'Neill seventh, Mike Young and Todd Ruda back in the ninth position. As the field just starts rolling off of pit road onto the racetrack. Let me take a look at the race info here tonight. You see a little bit of humidity, 22% humidity, 68 degrees. Track temperature, though, sitting at 70 degrees. As it's a night race, you're not going to see too much heat there in the racetrack. So, and this is week number 6, so just a few more weeks left here before we finish up the season and crown a champion. So when they go by pit lane this time, the pace car will take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. And Eric Steele will lead them down to the green flag. There it is. Green flag is in the air. And we are racing here at Myrtle Speech, and they already tried making it 3 wide down into turn number 1. As we hear a couple of cars make some contact, and the leader has gone around. The 32 of Eric Steele is around down in turn number 1. Let's take a look to see exactly what happened to Steele here. As you can see, they were trying to make it 3 wide down into turn number 1, and Jason Pelkey got out in front of the leader. He kind of came down a little bit on the 32. They made contact, and the 32 goes right around in front of Shane O'Neill, and that brings up this whole pile up here. But we see back up front, Jason Pelkey currently in the lead. I don't know why it's still showing a replay there in the corner, because we are now live. As Pelkey is coming across the line to start lap number 3. Oh, the 66 of Sean Rockford drifting it through the corner there. See, we have 5 laps to go. Here comes the 31 of Sean Fleury looking down underneath. And 66 up on the high side now. That high lane is showing a little bit of speed, showing a little bit of drifting out there as well. A lot of sliding by these drivers as Jason Pelkey still out in front. As the white flag was in the air, I believe that was the white flag. 1 lap to go. Apologize for the ticker not working properly, but we'll get that straightened out for you in just a moment. As off of turn number 4 and down across the stripe, and Pelkey is going to get the win. Logan Powers comes in second. Sean Fleury, Stephen Rockford. And bear with me just a moment, trying to get this timing and scoring back working again. For some reason, the timing doesn't like these heat races all that much, but we'll see if we can get this back working again. Again, I do apologize for the inconvenience. And there you go. Looks like we got it now. Pace car is dipping off. Caden Fisher on pole. Pete Fisher to the outside. Matt Smith, Tydelphia, Bradley Bushy, Kyle Streeter, Mark Baldwin, Justin Prescott, and Jake Rout in this race as Caden Fisher leads him down to the green flag, which is back in the air. We are back racing. Again, we already see some 3-wide racing here in the middle of the pack. This time, though, they're able to make it through turns 1 and 2 cleanly. You see Tydelphia down on the low side. Oh, big wiggle. The 52 goes around. Tydelphia gets a piece of it as well as he goes down through victory lane. Looks like the Bradley Bushy got the worst of it. He is down on pit road. Tydelphia falls all the way back to the 8th position. Kyle Streeter got a piece of that as well. He's back in 7th. Up front, though, Caden Fisher running away with it. He's got a second lead over Matt Smith and Pete Fisher as Matt Smith just made his way around the 71. And he's going to set his sights on the 18 of Caden Fisher. A little further back, we see the 49 of Grout starting to work on the back bumper of Mark Baldwin. At the same time, the 44 of Justin Prescott's right there as well. As Prescott's going to try this high side around the 49. As they all tuck in line. Still side by side, the 44 and the 49. I thought the 44 was going to have to tuck back in line, but he's going to continue to try to work that high lane. And oh, almost some contact. There is some contact. The 49 almost went around, able to hold on to it. What a save, but Justin Prescott is going to take over that 5th position as we have just 2 laps to go. Actually, white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for Caden Fisher as he makes his way through turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Mark Smith almost a second and a half back as they make their way through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And Caden Fisher is going to win your 2nd heat here tonight. So Caden Fisher with the win. Matt Smith back in 2nd. Take a look at those results here real quick. Caden Fisher gets the win. Matt Smith in 2nd. Peter Fisher in 3rd. Mark Baldwin in 4th, Justin Prescott, Jake Grout, Kyle Streeter, Ty Delphia, and Bradley Bushy make up the second heat. Let's take a look at the results of the first race. Jason Pelkey got the win. Logan Powers came in 2nd. Sean Fleury in 3rd. Stephen Rockford in 4th. Mike Young in 5th. Joel Hodgkin in 6th. Shane O'Neill, Todd Ruda, and Eric Steele round out the final spot of heat number 1. So while this little warm-up session is underway, of course, we want to thank all of our great partners yet again. H2O Well Drilling out of Milford, Vermont. We appreciate them coming on as the series sponsor. Til Dark Roofing. You see their number right there in the corner. The number is also in the description. So if you're looking for a roof in the Vermont area, check out Til Dark Roofing. Of course, over here at Intensity Broadcasting, we want to thank our great partner, the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. And not just do they have great gaming haptics as well, you can find that they have haptics that you can put in or around your couch for watching movies, listening to music, and more. So you can check out the full line over at thebuttkicker.com. Well, Eric Steele still showing some speed here. He is currently fastest here in this warm-up. Sean Fleury in that 31, also showing some speed here in warm-ups. Of course, we've got the chat open, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch. Let us know who you're pulling for here tonight. Throw your shout-outs out there. I'll shout them out here on the broadcast. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know who you think is going to win here at Myrtle Beach as the field gets ready to grid up here for our main event. And starting on pole tonight is the 64 of Jason Pelkey. Caden Fisher roll off from the 2nd position. Then Logan Powers and Matt Smith make up row number 2. Row 3 will find Sean Fleury and Peter Fisher, followed by Stephen Rockford and Mark Baldwin. Mike Young and Justin Prescott round out your top 10. 11th will be Joel Hodgkin with Mike Grout to his outside in 12th. 13th will find Shane O'Neill and Kyle Streeter. Todd Ruda back in the 15th position with Ty Delphia, Eric Steele, and Bradley Bushy making up the rest of the field here tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway. And of course, we see Caden Fisher dropping to the end here. Of course, he won last week, so he will get that EOL that drops him to the rear of the field. So we'll see if he's able to work his way through the field back up to the front. Of course, Eric Steele will be starting back in the rear as well. So a couple fast cars starting in the back here tonight. As we have one more lap to go before we get green flag racing underway. Here we go. Pace car has pulled off onto pit road. Jason Pelkey is going to lead him down to the green flag off of turn number 4. And the green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Myrtle Beach. Down into turn 1 for the first time. Pelkey gets a big jump out in front of Logan Powers and Matt Smith as they come off of turn number 2. A pretty docile start compared to what we saw in the first couple of races here tonight. And Pelkey's going to lead the first lap as Powers and Matt Smith continue to run side by side for the second position. Sean Fleury right there behind as well, and the 71 of Peter Fisher as they're right there on the back bumper in case either one of these drivers makes a mistake, as we see the 04 of Matt Smith get really loose there off of turn number 4, but he's able to hold on to it. And now Powers has a little bit of an advantage off of turn number 2, but here comes Smith back on the high side while these two are balanced side by side, allowing Jason Pelkey just to pull away from these two and the rest of the field. Another great battle a little further back as we see Baldwin up on the high side. He's got the 44 of Justin Prescott going around the inside. 71 of Pete Fisher in this mix here as well. As we have one car that just had to reset. That is the 117 of Ruda. So 117 looks like he might be out of the race. As, oh, big slide out of Smith as Logan Powers was able to clear the 04. And now here comes Sean Fleury down to the inside. He's going to take away the, oh, he gets hooked into the outside lane. Fleury's in it as well. I'm sorry, Smith is in it as well. We see Shane O'Neill get a piece as well. And a lot of damage to that 31 machine as you see the sparks flying. And that is going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. As we take a look to see exactly what happened here between these two. We see the 04 actually got loose there. That's Smith got loose, came down into the 31 of Fleury, who gets reared right head on into the outside wall. Great evasion there by Baldwin. And then Shane O'Neill just nowheres to go as the 04 comes right down into his path. And fortunately, nothing he could do there as we get the field back lined up here. Jason Pelkey still up front over Logan Powers, and Steve Rockford now back in the third position. Peter Fisher and Justin Prescott make up your top 5. So as the field makes their way around we get ready for the lights on, the pace car should be shutting off this time by. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to refire them here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Pelkey's going to choose the inside lane, putting Logan Power out to the outside. Pace car pulls down on the pit road. Pelkey's going to lead them back down to the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We are back racing here as Powers is able to tuck right in line and throw a big block on the 66 of Rockford. Rockford's able to clear down in front of the 71. As our front 7 cars are now single file. Joel Hogden, first car out of line as Baldwin goes up to the high side as well. And see the 36 working that high lane, trying to get around the 49 of Jake Grout. Battle up here up front, the 71 of Peter Fisher taking a look down to the inside of Stephen Rockford as they come off of turn number 4. But Rockford able to hold off the hard-charging 71 as the battle continues behind as well. See Mike Young taking a look down underneath Baldwin. And oh, big wiggle out of the 49. We just saw Jake Grout completely sideways. And look who are making their way through the field. Eric Steele and Caden Fisher running 9th and 10th currently as they're trying to make their way back up to the front. Methodically working their way through the field. Up on the high side, we see the 36 of Ogden just got really loose there in front of Fisher. Meanwhile, up front, the battle continues here as we see the 44 of Prescott and Pete Fisher going at it side by side down into turn number 1. And how about that? Pelkey's running a little bit different line than the rest of the field. We see he's right down on the white line through turns 3 and 4. But as he comes through turns 1 and 2, you'll notice he's running up about a lane. Well, last time by, he was running up about a lane higher. And you see him really drifting up there off the corner. He's losing a ton of speed doing that. He's not able to hold the car down on the bottom as well as some of the other drivers. See Logan Powers turning in on the exit of the corner, trying to gain as much speed and momentum as he can. Meanwhile, this battle continues between Justin Prescott and Peter Fisher. Ooh, big wiggle out of Prescott up on the high side. But he's able to clear the 71. He's going to set his sights now on Rockford. As Powers was just able to pull up to the back bumper of Pelkey. Now Pelkey starting to pull back away. Take a look off the back bumper of Pelkey's car. See just how much higher Powers is entering the corner. Then he's able to get that drive down off the corner to get the momentum down the backstretch. As this battle heats up here, we see Eric Steele working the outside of the 36 of Hodgen. Caden Fisher all the way up into the 6th position. And he is flying through the field right now as he is catching Pete Fisher in the 71. So we ride on here with Fisher. He continues to work his way through the field along with Eric Steele, who's kind of stalled out now back in the 9th position. You're not able to make his way through the field as quickly as, Steele not able to make their way through the field as quickly as Fisher has, as he's going to look to the outside of Mike Young. Down through turns 3 and 4. While that's going on, Pete Fisher and Caden Fisher are now side by side. This is a battle for the 5th position. Either driver giving an inch to the other as they make their way down into turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Stephen Rockford has caught Logan Powers. He's right there on the back bumper of the 99. And Justin Prescott trying to take a look down underneath Rockford as well. So Our top 6 pretty much under a blanket right now, as it's still anybody's game here, as we are not even a third of the way through the event. And already you've got 6 cars who look like they've got a chance to win it. Eric Steele now up into the 7th position. He was able to get around both the 36 of Hogden and Mark Baldwin. And now he's setting his sights on this front group. A little further back, we see a battle here between Mike Young and Sean Fleury. So Fleury, who was involved in that first incident, trying to methodically make his way back up through the pack. Ooh, one car bouncing off the wall. That was the 52 of Bushy, as he's going to dive down underneath Kyle Streeter. And now the 66 of Rockford trying to take a look underneath Powers. At the same time, we see Caden Fisher with Justin Prescott. Rockford taking a look down underneath Powers now as they go down into turns 3 and 4. Powers trying to pinch off that 66, trying to keep him behind. But Rockford still has that position down into the corner. Powers slips up the track just a little bit. Rockford, though, has to get out of it, and that allows Powers back around. And now Powers looking down to the inside of Pelkey, as they were just 3 wide, almost 4 wide down the front stretch, as Powers to the inside of Pelkey. Rockford right behind, trying to follow him through, as we have a new leader, the 99 of Logan Powers. Pelkey just got really loose there up on the high side. And Rockford now on the back bumper of Powers, trying to push him through. And here's Caden Fisher. So Fisher up into the 4th spot around Justin Prescott. So a great battle shaping up here for the lead. As right now we've got about 6 cars up front here who could easily win this race. Pelkey up on the high side, trying to keep that momentum up there. As gets real loose down into the corner. He's drifting it through the corner. That allows Fisher to get right up alongside. Here comes Prescott and Peter Fisher as well. Pelkey's really struggling now up on that high side. He's really upset that right rear tire, trying to slide it around the high side to keep that momentum. And right now, he is paying for it as he's trying to tuck in line between Prescott and Pete Fisher. Eric Steele has caught this group as well, as he's right there on the back bumper of Pete Fisher. Meanwhile, up front, Logan Powers continues to lead over 2nd place Stephen Rockford, and Caden Fisher right there in the 3rd spot. As Caden takes a look down underneath the 66, does he have the position? Almost there into turn number 3. He's trying to peek that nose down underneath, as Rockford throws a little bit of a block down there into the corner to try to keep that 18 machine behind. Caden Fisher taking another look down underneath. Just not able to make that happen, as caution is out on the track. It looks like it is for the 17 of Mike Young, as that's going to bring up another wreckage rewind. That actually started way out in front. That actually started with the 49 of Jake Grout and the 52 Bradley Bushy, as they make their way down into turn number 1. We see the 49 get a little loose, the 52 get into the back of the 49, and then 17 of Mike Young, nowheres to go, as the 49 comes back up the track, collects the 32. And Mike Young gets the worst of it here, sliding down to the infield. So that was the 49 of Jake Grout, who also made some contact there. So 31 laps completed. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, and refire them. Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Logan Powers is going to lead him back down to the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. We are back racing here at Myrtle Beach. And already Caden Fisher trying to take a look down underneath the 66 of Stephen Rockford as they come off a turn at number 2. Side by side for that second position. Logan Powers able to pull away just a little bit, as Justin Prescott right there in the 4th spot, watching to see if he can make a move in case something happens between these two drivers battling for second. Right behind, we see Eric Steele making his move around the 71 of Peter Fisher, as Caden Fisher has now cleared the 66. Here comes the 44 of Justin Prescott trying to take over the 3rd position, as Rockford stuck up on the high side. Oh, Prescott got loose there off of turn number 4. That allows Rockford to get back to the outside as they continue to run side by side for the 3rd position. Then we see the 64 of Pelkey, and then side by side Steele is able to clear Pete Fisher, and now he's going to set his sights on the 64 as they come down off of turn number 2. Ooh, some contact between Rockford and Prescott that time by. Oh, big wiggle again out of Pelkey. That's going to check up the 66 of Rockford. That's going to allow Steele to make a move down to the inside. While that's going on, here comes Caden Fisher trying to find a way around Logan Powers as they go down into turn number 1. Fisher trying to use that bumper, loosen up that 99 machine to get himself in a position to take over the lead. Now Fisher's going to look up to the high side as they come off of turn number 4. And Fisher, using a little bit of the bumper, upsets that 99, shoves them both up the track as they are beating and banging here for that top spot. As we are coming to start lap number 38 of 75. A little further back, we see this gaggle of cars here as Jason Pelkey leads this entire group of cars. Here comes Pete Fisher taking a look down underneath Steele. This is kind of the part of the race where the tires really start to equal out for all these drivers. These cars, you can see, are slip sliding all over the place as Pelkey is sideways off of turn number 2, somehow able to hold on to it and not collect the 32 of Steele. You have some 3-wide racing a little further back. Pelkey just Tokyo drifted it around the corner up on the high side. As for the lead continues between Logan Powers and Caden Fisher, and caution on the track. Big pile up, and it looks like Pelkey might have gone around here as he's fallen all the way back into the 14th position, and Steele is back here as well. So it's going to bring up a wreckage rewind as we take a look to see what brought out this most recent caution. Oh, contact between Pelkey and Steele. That sends both cars up the track, and then you see the rest of the field just come piling in behind. So a lot of damage to that 32 machine. See the sheet metal crinkled there behind the left front tire. Jason Pelkey still on pit road as the field. No, he's able to get off of pit road before the field gets there, and he's able to take a reset to get himself back in the race. And this caution, I think the caution benefits Logan Powers the most. This is going to give him an opportunity to cool off those tires. Trying to hold off the hard-charging 18 machine of Caden Fisher. Don't forget to join us Tuesday night for the truck doubleheader, kicking off with the Doghouse Racing League as they start their playoffs this week. They'll be taking off from Atlanta Motor Speedway, followed by the SCSRA Morse Customs Truck Series. As Logan Powers gets ready to lead them back down to the green flag. Green flag is in the air. We are back racing. As they are side by side for the lead, but Powers able to hold on to that top spot for now. As here comes Justin Prescott with a rundown on the low side. He's going to take a look down underneath Fisher. Stephen Rockford right there in the mix as well. Oh, one going around right in front of the field. That was a 71 of Fisher, and that's going to collect the entire field. The big one here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, what we normally see reserved for places like Daytona and Talladega, just took place here on the front stretch at Myrtle Beach. That was a big one. Let's see if we can see exactly what caused that one here tonight. Oh, 71 gets right rear. I think he might have pushed up the track a little bit in front of Tydelphia, and you see just the track closes up as the entire field comes plowing through. Just nowhere to go, not able to get slowed down. We saw the brakes on the 52 bright orange from trying to lock or slow down that car. Let's take another look at this one here as we see. Yeah, Tydelphia made just two cars trying to hit the same exact spot on the track. And you can see just how hard these drivers are trying to get woed down. If you look at the right front tires of some of these cars, especially right there, the 52 coming through, you see the bright orange glowing wheels as he's trying to get that car slowed down the best he can. But unfortunately, just not able to do it as the entire field, again, comes plowing in. And we'll re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to refire them. Lights are off on the pace car. Again, Tuesday night after our truck doubleheader starts with the Doghouse Racing League. They'll be taking on Atlanta Motor Speedway for their first race of the playoffs, followed by the SCSRA Morse Customs Truck Series. And they'll be taking on Bristol Motor Speedway. Then Wednesday night, we'll have the Dev Sports Cards Xfinity Series, as we'll be taking on Michigan Speedway on Wednesday night. So a week full of racing here on Intensity Broadcasting. Logan Powers leads them back down to the starting zone. Green flag back in the air as they make their way down into turn number one, and Powers with the advantage as the 44 and 66 make some contact right behind. That's going to move Rockford solidly up into the third position. Joel Hogden trying to make a move now underneath the 04 of Matt Smith, trying to take over that fifth spot. As Hogden and Smith lean on each other through turns 1 and 2, 8 tires better than 4. We see Shane O'Neill up on that high side. He's got the 37 of Kyle Streeter down below. And just behind him, we see the 32 of Eric Steele trying to make his way back through the field a second time. as Logan Powers at the moment able to hold off Caden Fisher as we are quickly approaching 25 laps to go. Stephen Rockford right here in the mix as well, as these three are lined up nose to tail. Justin Prescott got out on his own little island here before the rest of the field pounds their way down into turn number 1, led by the 36 of Joel Hogden and Matt Smith side by side. 3 wide behind, we see Kyle Streeter. That was, Kyle Streeter down on the bottom side, Shane O'Neill on the top side. And we saw Eric Steele really loose there off the high side as they were trying to make it 3 wide yet again. Oh, the 64 Pelkey gets tagged. The 49 of Jake Kraut goes around. Caution back on the racetrack. As we take another look to see what happened here, we see Pelkey trying to enter the corner. The 49 has the 13 right below him. I don't think Pelkey realized that they were 3 wide like that. Look at Eric Steele up on the high side, able to sneak through, but the 49 of Jake Grout getting the worst of it, along with the 17 of Mike Young sliding down to the inside. Fortunately, though, doesn't look like there's too much damage to Jake Grout's machine, and he should be able to get back in this race without an issue. Here we go, lights on the pace car, should be shutting off this time. Yep, Fisher jumps up to that high side. Logan Powers down on the low side. And the 66 of Rockford restarting from the 3rd position, with Justin Prescott out to his outside. Pace car pulls down on the pit road. Green flag's back in the air. We are back racing. Powers was not able to get the jump on Kane Fisher that he thought he was going to. The 66 is sliding. He got real loose down in the corner. Fisher looking up to the outside of Logan Powers down on the low side. Giving each other a lot of room here off of turn number 4. As they continue to run side by side down into turn number 1, and Justin Prescott now solidly into that 3rd position as Rockford tries to take a look down to the inside, but gets a little loose, not able to. And the caution is back on the track. Not sure what this one's for. We're going to have to pull up the wreckage rewind and take a look at the field. Looks like this one started here with Ty Delphia and Eric Steele. A little contact between them. They come up into the 37 of Kyle Streeter, and unfortunately Ty Delphia gets the worst of this one as he's going to go all the way down to the inside wall. You know the old saying, cautions breed cautions. In fact, we know that saying so much well that we actually have a t-shirt for that up on intensitybroadcasting.com. You can check that out by visiting intensitybroadcasting.com, checking out our novelty t-shirts. Pick yourself up a Cautions Breed Cautions t-shirt. Of course, not just do we have intensity gear, we have our novelty shirts. We also have a couple racers there, including Atlee Hatman Weiss the founder of Intensity Broadcasting. He has his Bandolero racing career going off, starting back up here in a few months down in Virginia. Races at Langley Speedway, and his apparel is there on intensitybroadcasting.com, so check it all out at the link down below. Logan Powers bringing him back down to the restart zone. Looks like Kane Fisher learned what he was doing last time. And the same thing this time as Fisher able to fire off great up on that high side as they go side by side down into turn number 1. Powers, though, looks like he's able to hold that momentum on the low side. They are door-to-door down into turn number 3. Justin Prescott right there in the mix as well. Steve Rockford right there in 4th, taking a look down underneath Prescott as our leaders continue to battle side by side down into turn number 1. And Fisher, I thought he was going to have to slide in behind Powers, but he's able to use that high line to his advantage and get himself back alongside the 99 of Powers as they come off of turn number 4. 25 laps to go. Powers with a nose advantage as they go down into turn number 1. Fisher using that high lane momentum, keeping himself alongside Logan Powers, but Powers is able to hold on as the caution is back out on the track. Looks like it's for the 25 of Shane O'Neill and Eric Steele involved in this one as well. As we pick up the action here from the iRacing blimp. And it starts with, that is the I want to say it's the 37. It got real loose there in front of both O'Neill and Steele, and those two trying to take evasive action here. Both get caught up in it, and we see Ty Delphia get a piece of it, the 49 as well. And I want to actually go back a little bit to see who that white car is. Yeah, that is the 37 of Kyle Streeter. So he got loose right there in front, and these two make a little bit of contact. Hit that inside wall. Fortunately, I don't even think Flex Seal is going to be able to fix that machine. As back up front, Logan Powers on the inside, Caden Fisher on the outside, and pace car pulling on the pit road. Green flag is back in the air. This time Powers was able to fool Fisher just a little bit as they rocket down into turn number 1, and Powers with the advantage over Fisher and finally able to clear that 18 machine. He's going to hold that low lane and let Fisher try to work that high side. Powers knows if Fisher gets underneath that 99, it's going to be all done as they're 3 wide down into turn number 1, and Fisher falls all the way back to the 4th position as both Justin Prescott and Stephen Rockford were able to get by. Oh, one hard into the outside wall. Caution on the track again. That was Matt Smith. Matt Smith with incredibly hard contact with the outside wall to start the chain of events that brought out the most recent caution. Looks like there might have been a little bit of contact here between the 04, a little bit of net code actually between the 04 and the 36. The net code turns into real contact, puts that 04 hard in the outside wall, and he almost stops instantly. And then you see the 52 get down into Shane O'Neill. O'Neill again hard into the inside wall. Matt Smith on pit road getting damage fixed up as Shane O'Neill continues to have a tough night here tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway. So lights are off on the pace car. Re-rack them, restack them, get ready to refire them once again here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. As we have less than 25 laps to go. Logan Powers down on the low side. Justin Prescott now on the high side, and green flags back in the air. And here comes Rockford. Tried to make it 3 wide for a second. He tucks back in behind and one around. That's Tidelphia on the front stretch. Caution back out again. So we see Tidelphia here. That's Shane O'Neill right behind. Oh, gets tagged by Steele, and Steele turns him right around. Fortunately, just the one car incident. As Logan Powers catches up to the to the pace car to lead the field back under caution. Next week, the INSS will be taking on New Smyrna Raceway, followed by Iowa, Southern National, and rounding out the season on February 5th at Nashville Fairgrounds. Here we go, green flag back in the air. And this time a much better start for Prescott, who's right there on the outside of Powers as they go down into turn number 1. Powers just not able to hold off that high lane the way he wants to. They make their way off of turn number 4. And oh, Prescott into the outside wall. They're 3 wide down in turn number 1. Fisher, Prescott, Rockford. Rockford gets the worst of it. He's going to fall all the way back. Currently into the 8th position. You see Mark Baldwin right behind trying to make his move around O'Neill. And what that does up front, it allows Logan Powers a little bit of breathing room with 19 laps to go. He's got Justin Prescott and Kane Fisher. Now we know Fisher has a lot of speed. Justin Prescott is Logan Powers' best friend right now because he's got Fisher behind him. And look who's made their way back up into the mix as well. Back in 4th place, the 64 of Jason Pelkey. As Kane Fisher takes a look now underneath the 44 of Prescott. Prescott got really loose there off of turn number 2. As Fisher's trying to hold that bottom lane to get around the 44, as they are 3 wide behind as well. Big gaggle of cars back here. But the battle right now is for the 2nd position. As Prescott drifting it around the outside, trying to hold on to that 2nd position, but Fisher has that low lane working for him right now. As something just happened to Jason Pelkey. He's fallen all the way back to the tail of the field, and caution is out on track. Something tells me that Pelkey was involved in this one. Oh, just got really loose there off of turn number 4. Able to, does Rockford get a little piece? Yeah, Rockford gets a little piece there. He's able to save it, though, as Pelkey goes down into what little John Deere country we have here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. The save here from the 66 of Rockford. He just able to hold on to it after that heavy contact to the rear. So here we go. They're going to re-rack them, restack them, and refire them yet again. Coming to 20 laps to go. Pace car on pit road. Logan Powers leads him back down to the green flag. It was back in the air, and Powers with a great jump over Justin Prescott. Here comes Caden Fisher down to the inside of the 44, yet again trying to take over that second spot to give himself a chance at Logan Powers in the closing laps of the race. Meanwhile, Mike Rockford back in the 5th position, trying to work around Joel Hogden to get himself in a position here as well. Down into turn number 1, Fisher let it all hang out there on the low side. Justin Prescott up on the high side. They're 3 wide behind. As Fisher's able to stay alongside Prescott as they come across stripe. 13 laps to go. Meanwhile, while this battle continues to heat up, we've got this battle. Oh, the 37 just went around. That's Kyle Streeter around, able to save it. No caution. We stay green. What a save. Caden Fisher does not want to see the caution come out. He wants to keep this momentum that he has. He's trying to get these drivers to wear out their tires as he's able to clear Justin Prescott. He wants these drivers to wear out their tires so he's got a chance to make a run at it here in the late laps of the event. Logan Powers' lead is just half a second over Caden Fisher. A little further back, we see Steve Rockford looking down underneath the 52 of Bradley Bushy, and he's got Joel Hogden right there in the mix as well, the 91 of Mark Baldwin. And how about Eric Steele back in the 8th position, trying to work his way back up towards the front. So great battles all around the track here. Oh, Steele goes around. Makes contact with, I believe that was Shane O'Neill. And the caution comes back out. As we get you another wreckage rewind to see exactly what happened to the 32 of Steele. Might have been a little bit of contact here between himself and the 13 of Tydelphia. .32 goes around, backs it into the outside retaining wall. And yep, there's Shane O'Neill, just nowheres to go. Hard contact. As Steele makes his way down to the inside retaining wall, where he comes to rest. When we take the green flag again, we'll have just 9 laps to go. Caden Fisher will be restarting here on the outside this time. Pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Oh no, the lights are still on the pace car. So we will go one more lap before we get back underway. So here we go, Logan Powers on the low side, Caden Fisher on the high side, Justin Prescott and Joel Ogden back in 4th, Mike Rockford and Bradley Bushy to the outside in 6th as we make our way back down to the restart zone. Green flags back in the air, great jump for Powers. As he makes his way down into turn number 1, we have just 9 laps to go. Justin Prescott taking a look down underneath Caden Fisher. As caution is back out on the track, it sounds like, looks like Jake Grout was involved in this one along with Mark Baldwin. And it looked like Pelkey might have been involved in this one as well. And yeah, some contact between Pelkey and Baldwin. Baldwin gets turned around up into the outside retaining wall. And then the 49 of Jake Grout also involved in this, trying to avoid it. May have had a little bit of help there from Shane O'Neill. Lights on the pace car are off once again. We're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. To settle it here at Myrtle Beach with less than 10 laps to go. Pace car comes down onto pit road. Green flag back in the air. Another great jump for Powers down into turn number 1 as Fisher is trying to hold off Justin Prescott for that second position. At the same time, trying to find a way around the 99 of Powers as Prescott makes a dive down into turn number 3. Gets loose though and almost loses it as they're 3 wide down the front stretch with Mike Rockford making a big move down to the inside. He's going to take over that 3rd position as Prescott's going to fall all the way back to 4th, and they're still 3 wide. Ty Delphia down on the low side. Bradley Bushy in the middle. Now Bushy's sideways off the corner, and so isn't Ogden. As 6 laps remain, and Rockford's now taking a look down underneath Caden Fisher, trying to take over that 2nd position. Almost some contact between Rockford and Powers as Fisher continues to try to work that high lane. Rockford and Fisher make a little contact there through turns 1 and 2. That's going to allow the door to open up for Powers as he's able to pull away just a little bit. 4 laps to go when we cross the line this time. Oh, contact. Rockford gets loose. Able to hold on to, almost able to hold on to. He got turned around by Justin Prescott. That's going to bring out the yellow. Unfortunate turn of events for the 66 of Rockford. That's going to bring up another wreckage rewind. This one starts way back here. Coming down the front stretch, we see Rockford down on the low side and Fisher up on the high side as they make their way down into turn number 1. And you can see Rockford gets a little loose down into the corner. Slides up in front of Fisher. Fisher doesn't really make contact with the 66. As the 66 gets up into the marbles. See all that loose rubber up at the high side. And then, as he's trying to regain control, the 44 of Justin Prescott has nowhere to go and runs him over there as he goes sliding down out of harm's way as the field makes their way by. So, tough break for Stephen Rockford, who was having such a great run. Been up in the top 5 all race long. And now he finds himself back in the 13th position, the last car on the lead lap. Pace car down on pit road. We have just 4 laps to go. Logan Powers trying to keep that 18 of Kane Fisher at bay. Green flag is in the air. And we are back racing with just 3 laps to go. Powers down to the inside. He's able to hold off Fisher for now. Caution. Caution back on the track. Hard crash in turn number 1. See Bradley Bushy involved. The 17 of Mike Young caught up in this one as well. See if we can see exactly what happened here. We see the contact behind. Pelkey and O'Neill were the first ones involved in this one. Oh, and then there's actually 2 separate incidents. Let me rewind this just a little bit. So while that's going on, then a little bit further ahead, we see the 52 gets loose down on the low side, slides up in front of Eric Steele, and Steele with nowhere to go gets into the quarter panel and sends the 52 hard up into the outside wall. As we're live here and lights on the pace car off once again. With 3 laps to go this time, Logan Powers will be down on the low side with Kane Fisher up on the high side. Green flags back in the air. Powers again able to hold off Fisher as they come down into turns 1 and 2. With just 2 laps to go. Oh, contact behind. Big wreck again. Rockford involved. Baldwin involved. We saw Joel Hogden involved as well. That 36 does not look very happy right now, as he looks like he's looking for somebody out on the track. Let's take a look to see what happened here. Down into... I had the wrong driver I was looking at there. I apologize for that. It looked like Ogden was just trying to catch up to the field. I thought he was actually involved in that. It actually happened right behind him. It looked like Pelkey, again, was involved in this one, getting turned around. Oh, this is the incident beforehand. I apologize. This is the most recent incident. And yeah, you just see them just all come piling in here. Looks like it started with Philadelphia in the 44, and then everybody just kind of checking up and piling in, and that brings up the big one there. Now we go single file restarts. Logan Powers taking the green flag with the single file restart, and the 44 of Prescott loose, and now they're wrecking again. Ogden again around. Caution is back out on the track. We'll get the right incident this time. We'll just go straight to the incident. We see the 49 get into the back of the 36. Sends those two cars right around. Only those two cars were collected. So we'll re-rack them, re-stack them, and do it all over again. So Logan Powers is going to lead him back down to the restart zone. Again, Fisher right there on the back bumper. Green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go. They can make it around this lap and the white flag comes out. The caution flag will be put away. As Fisher's trying to run down Logan Powers. As they come off of turn number 4, white flag will be in the air. 1 lap to go here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Big wreck on the front stretch, but it doesn't matter as the white flag's in the air. The battle for the lead continues. Logan Powers trying to hold off Fisher. Fisher takes one last ditch attempt down to the low side off of turn number 4. And Logan Powers is going to get the win here at Myrtle Beach. Ken Fisher comes home in second. And how about that? Eric Steele coming home in third. As they are still wrecking here on the front stretch. We take a look to see exactly what brought this one out here. They're almost 4 wide there. Steele, you see Steele in the middle there. And the seas kind of part for him as everybody goes wrecking into the corner there. So you see the 99 of Logan Powers getting the win here tonight. He's going to park his car right there in the middle. and we will take a look at the final results. Logan Powers gets the win. Caden Fisher comes home second. Eric Steele in third. Shane O'Neill and Jason Pelkey round out your top five. Stephen Rockford comes home sixth. Jason Grouton seventh. Joel Hogden eighth. Justin Prescott and Kyle Streeter round out your top 10. 11th was Ty Delphia with Mark Baldwin in 12th. Bradley Bushy in the 13th position. Matt Smith and Mike Young, your top 15. 16th was Sean Fleury. 17th, Peter Fisher and Todd Ruda make up the rest of the field here tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway. As we get ready to talk to our top three, actually looks like just two are here in the booth here, and we'll start with, is that Eric Steele in the booth with me here?
Loud and clear. How you doing tonight?
Right, Eric. Great job. Doing well, and great run for you tonight. Kind of had a real up and down race. Started up at the front in your heat race, got bumped to the back of the field, and then had to work your way through the field. It seems like 2 or 3 times. And then the seas kind of parted when everybody wrecked there on that final lap. Take us through the race. What was the strategy trying to get through the field at the beginning of the race? And how are you able to show the patience there to be there at the end?
Well, as you all witnessed, it wasn't the best race of the century, that's for sure. I knew starting out back, if I could just lock on to Caden's back bumper, follow him up through the traffic and save my tires while the rest of the guys beaten and banged would be in good shape at the end. And, I had to do it multiple times. It seemed as though a lot of people thought some of the wrecks were my fault. And of course, I obviously see some of them the other way. And at one point I got targeted, and it's just whatever. I mean, you got to hate the guy that's fast, right? Come from the back to the front that many times. I got the speed.
For sure. And, you talk about the incidents there. It seemed like the first half of the race was incredibly clean. There was some great racing throughout the field. And then I don't know if tempers started getting involved or tires started to wear out, but it seems like the cars were really sliding around and beating and banging through the second half of the race. Was it just the tires wearing out on these heavy stock cars, or was there a little more to it out there tonight?
No, definitely a lot more to it out there. What a lot of the guys straight up aren't running the correct line, and that makes these cars drive incredibly terrible when you're not, keyed into the angles that you need to take when you exit and enter the corners. Which is why my tires lasted so well. I had so much grip late in the run because I've spent a lot of time here at Myrtle Beach. I've run a lot of laps, and I know that by entering one correctly, you can rotate the entire corner, save all your tire, and stomp on it out of the corner. Just get a run, which was, one of the factors is how my car was so fast tonight.
Yeah, for sure. There's a very unique racing line here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. But, man, great job coming through. And talk us through that last lap, because I saw the seas kind of part there in front of you, and you're able to make your way through. What was going through your mind there as you saw the chaos unfold in front of you?
It's one of those things where the entire last half of the race had been nothing but the same of that. So when the hole opened up last lap, what else are you going to do besides punch the gas pedal, stuff it through there, and see what happens? And luckily, I made it through, and third place we wound up.
Well, again, congratulations on the podium finish. Before we let you go, Eric, anyone you want to thank? Any shouts you got to give?
Shout out to my Discord community. I'm one of the top guns with hard racing. We provide fast, 100% free advanced Legends C-Class setups to anybody on the platform. So if you're in need of some killer setups, you can stop by our Discord, snag any of them for free. Keep your $6 in your pocket. And Admin Boxed Fish, delivering the best piece of equipment that any race director could ever want in the admin box.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium, and good luck the rest of the season out.
Thank you much.
So our second place finisher, Caden Fisher, is not here with us tonight. So we'll talk to our winner here tonight, driver of the 99, Logan Powers. Logan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Gotcha.
Man, great run for you here tonight. Kind of keeping them at bay behind you. We saw Caden Fisher trying to work that high side. Pelkey earlier in the run. It just seemed like you were able to keep the momentum on the low side and keep them behind you. What was the secret to holding off people, especially on the low side, because that's very difficult to do here at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a different element. Usually on iRacing, it's like one lane. Tonight was nice because you were able to have that second choice of outside lane. It was definitely hard to keep Caden from passing me. He was definitely tough. I probably pinched him off a few times. He wasn't quite under me, but he was definitely, really close. Definitely tough to keep him behind me. Got under me one time, and I got saved by the million cautions. So it was a good race up front. I mean, that's not what we try to do here at this league. That was quite embarrassing, actually. But you'll have that, I guess. Up front, I felt like it could have been one of the best races of the year. With halfway in the race, we had, I think, 1 or 2 cautions, and it kind of just went all downhill from there.
Yeah, the racing up front was incredible. Halfway through, you had 6 or 7 cars up in that lead group. Anybody could have really won this race at that point. You talk about those cautions, though, coming out. Those might have saved you a little bit. I know I said it that at one point when you and Caden were running side by side, that gave you an opportunity to cool off those tires. Is that kind of what it allowed you to do, was kind of keep him at bay, cool off your tires, and kind of play a little bit of a game with him to keep him behind you?
I think it was really hard to get a rhythm with all the cautions, honestly. The only time it really saved me was when he got up underneath me and there was a caution. I mean, that probably kind of saved me a little bit, but I'd rather have seen, 20 lap runs instead of half lap runs. Just complete disrespect by everybody in the back of the field is like I said, it's embarrassing. As somebody that runs the league, put a lot of time into it, and to have people race like that is just not acceptable. But I'm happy to win, but it's hard to be happy when you hold everybody to a high standard, and it kind of looks like that. But appreciate you putting it on as always, and hopefully we can clean it up for next week and only get better from there.
Well, I mentioned it earlier. This is one of my favorite places to watch a race. Was one of my favorite places to watch a race in real life, and you guys put on a great show here tonight. Even with all the cautions, it was still a great show, and I'm sure them watching at home feel the same way. You do have a couple shout-outs here in the chat. Let's see here. Sandy Fleury says, congratulations to you. Don Fleury does as well, and Jan Cameron all saying congratulations to you. So congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, though, anyone you want to thank, any shout-outs you got to give here tonight, Logan?
Yeah, no, just everybody that watches. I know I have a lot of family that watches, so thanks everybody for watching. And thanks everybody for sharing the post. Only helps you guys at the broadcast and our league get bigger. So thanks everybody for watching. And again, thank you for putting it on. It was quite the show.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for sure. And again, congratulations on your win, and good luck the rest of the season out. I know you guys are moving on to New Smyrna next week, so good luck there. I look forward to catching that one as well.
Alrighty, thanks.
Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your winner, Logan Powers, here tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch, don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcast. Of course, we want to thank all of our great partners here as well, including H2O Well Drilling out of Milton, Vermont, Til Dark Roofing, as well as our partners here at Intensity Broadcasting, including IntensityBroadcasting.com, Race EPI, and The Butt Kicker. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us. Don't forget to catch us next Sunday night as well from New Smyrna. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over